guys, and welcome to our channel. My name is Molly and this is Dylan, and this is the start of our van conversion series. We love to travel but don't really like paying for all the accommodations.
So we bought this 2013 Ford Transit Connect with the sole purpose of converting it. Now it's a whole lot smaller than what most people convert, but we love to take on the challenge. Plus it is super fuel efficient. So let's get started with this series.
Off today, we are taking out all of the plastic liners from the front seats and back. We are also taking out the headliner and the floor mat. This is where it gets ugly, but it'll get better later.
We're also taking out all of the seats because we still need to insulate and sound dampen the floor underneath the rubber mat. These seats will go back in later, but the secondary seat, not the one Molly takes out, will not. So we're going to put that aside and make sure it's covered and doesn't get damaged, because it's going to be going back in one of the last steps. Just taking the fender cover off and this upper panel, and we sort of discovered this monstrosity right here. So this part is actually where the return for the sliding door goes into, so this cannot be removed. This, however, can be removed on this side because this is what the seat clips into, and the seat's getting removed. So we're going to go ahead and remove this, and we'll have to sort out what we're going to do about this later. Also, there's some connectors sticking out down here that I really don't want to mess with, so I think we're just going to go ahead and put the original panel back on, and we'll just run our wall paneling up to it. Our wall paneling is really not going to be seen past, say, this level anyway, so I think we're good, but that's where we're at. Already running into problems. Day one, less than an hour in.
Actually, I take back what I said earlier. It looks pretty good without anything in here.
I apologize in advance for the loud background noises if you can hear them. My neighbors, all of them, decided to cut their grass today. Perfect. Anyway, we were just about to start insulating the van. Why are you giggling so much? You're probably shaking.
I know.
Because
you're like, great.
Anyway, we were just about to start insulating the van and realized we need to run some wiring first, because once we insulate, we won't be able to get to certain areas easily. So I've sort of got the lights set up and wiring laid out here. It's pretty messy, but I figured I'd give you guys a look at it here before we install it, because it'll make so much more sense now here. This is the only wiring that we're going to be running in the van. We will have some power outlets on the back side, but those are going to get run through the cabinets. and we'll do that later. So this is it. This is all we have to do for wiring. It's very, very simple. So we have 4 of these LED recessed lights here. They're 12 volts, and we're gonna have 2 in the back and 2 in the front. So these will be in the ceiling. Now this here, this is the connector that connects all of these 4 LED lights together. So you can actually have a bunch of them if you wanted more lights. So these all just clip in there. You run it all the way back to this. This is our touch switch. So this is a touch sensitive switch to turn on the lights, and it also is a dimmer. So we can touch it and hold it and dim the lights. Run back to this connector. This connector is basically just another power hub, and normally all the lights would just plug into here, but this is actually powering the dimmer now. So this is where the 12 volts comes from. This is our little inverter. This may just get plugged directly into the battery, not sure yet, but we have this option. Anyway, so with that out of the way, this is the plan. These are going to get mounted in the ceiling. This connector here, which is what all the LEDs will connect to, is going to get put up into this recess up in here. And the reason for that is because the wire on the lights isn't that long, and this will give us we'll be able to access that in the future if we need to. So we'll be able to kind of open up a panel here and get to all the electronics in there without having to tear the van apart. Moving down to the switch is going to get run down through this panel here and then out one of these holes, and that's just going to hang out until we put the paneling in, and then that'll get mounted to the paneling here. So the switch for all the lights will be right there. Then the rest of the wire will run down into here and then down back out this hole and come out of the floor here, and that's where our battery will sit. So it's going to be super, super simple, and we're going to go ahead and get after it. Seems like every single project there's always a hiccup, and we just ran into the first one in this project. It's either the previous owner or probably someone he employed to put in the XM radio. They just drooped the wire from the front to the back, and the standard van configuration, that's totally fine, but for us, we really need it to go through the cavities of the van so that we don't pinch it with our battens and roof boards that we're going to be putting in. So unfortunately, we had to de-wire the entire... De-wire? That's not even a word. Anyway, we had to unwire the XM radio from the dash, meaning we had to take the dash off and then re-pull it back through and then trace it back through the van cavities as best we possibly could. Actually, wasn't that bad, just took a really long time. But what can you do? At least we didn't have any bigger hiccups than that today.
All that chaos, we are finally putting in our lights. We did change out the layout just a little bit. Now they're going in a straight line down the middle. We did this to speed up the build process and so it won't interfere with any future cabinets we decide to put in later. So we just got all of our wiring done, mostly for the lights, and we have 3 lights running down at the middle. We just have all the wires taped up for now. The insulation is going to hold them up a little bit better once that is in. So all the wires run over here to our connector hub, and from there they run all the way down the body of the van and out through this hole where our battery is going to be placed, so it's really convenient. So this is our 12-volt power supply that is plugged in right now, so I'm going to go ahead and show you all the lights turning on. You just press this button and they should all be on, you can see. And then if you hold it down, they actually dim. And then push it again for them to turn off. That was fun.
That was weak.
So that does it for day one. I feel pretty accomplished. I think we got a lot done.
Hope you guys enjoyed this day one of the van build series, and if you haven't already, subscribe because these are coming out weekly. They'll probably be done in 5-6 weeks or so 5 or 6 episodes, and you'll be able to see the entire finished van that's back here, so you're not going to want to miss it. Also, go check out the merch. Got the stickers, the patches, everything, link in the description below, and we'll catch you guys next week in the Woodbrew van series.
Good.
Nailed it.
Oh yeah.